Hey y'all, we're in the game already. Just a couple minutes ahead of schedule. Lucky day when the queue is cooperating. And we've got quite a spicy match here. This is a fierce list of players to get paired up against. In particular, we have Zoras, who's pretty well renowned as one of the best, if not the absolute best. So this is going to be a challenge, and I'm pretty downright excited for it. Yes, I know that previously we've battled this Ito and Nito fellow on stream, and they were quite an opponent at the time. No reason to suspect they won't be now, so definitely we're gonna have to be on our A game for this round. That said, let's go ahead and take a look at the layout. So, first standouts. We have a dwelling scoring in round 2 and 6. I pick these out sort of first from the list because dwelling scoring tends to be the most spammable of all the scoring actions. So it can really pay to gear your game towards it, more so than other things, which can, pay you off a little bit of point compensation. How well you exploit a dwelling scoring round can really make or break your entire game. Town scoring can also often be in the same category if it comes late enough. Round 4 is kind of right on the cusp of that. It's late enough that you're really behind the curve if you don't catch this bonus at all. But, it's not like there's any great expectation that you would gain it in multiples. Okay, so Zoras cuts in straight away with the Darklings. That's a bit of a shame. I would have very much enjoyed playing this out with the Alchemists. I actually think Alchemists are kind of curiously well situated to capitalize on a dwelling spam on exactly round 2. They have incredibly heavy incentives to want to do it exactly then, not 1 or 3. And I kind of like the Alchemist game plan. But that is not to be. So Darklings, out the window. Engineers are already in place. So what are we interested in? Definitely we're not going to look at something like halflings. There's no spade scoring in this at all. I think it could be a very risky proposition to toss in the witches. That's just not a faction that I manage very well. If we don't, we should expect engineers to be kind of at the head of the pack matchup-wise. So I think just to kind of make it well, let's take a look at bonus tiles to assess how we want to do this. So we do see Stronghold Sanctuary scoring and Dwelling scoring as the two cards on this. And there's going to be a lot less pressure on the Spade Power actions with this bonus card. So I think, it's, you know, kind of the classic to chuck in this mix that makes for a more balanced-ish game. It would be Mermaids. But I actually don't think this is very well situated for Mermaids, who care a lot more strongly about the bonuses available here than they do about the round scoring bonuses. And both of the Mermaids' favorites, 6 coins and the scoring for shipping, they're both missing. So we could entertain something like Mermaids still. But I think we have to be a little reserved in how we bid for it. Hopefully other people will value them more highly than they ought to under these circumstances. So I think that's going to be my gambit here. Let's chuck in the Mermaids. Hello there, Hubert Twee. Nice to see you back at the stream. And yes, Illusion, I am appealing to your fascist sense of punctuality. Trying to start right on time, 5 o'clock sharp or a couple minutes early, as routinely as I can. Okay, so I think if we check out statistics on how this matchup performs, this is an incredibly well-known matchup by many of the best players. This is one of the most commonly played ones on Snellman ever. Maybe from that perspective, since I'm sort of the newcomer to the party, it was a mistake to toss it in. Oh, you're Fire said. Okay. That's good to know. Thanks, Hubert Twee. Now I will know when you're spectating me in the future. I will try to remember that. Anyway, I'm definitely lowest on the Mermaids for these circumstances. And I think with Nomads and Darklings both having a hefty amount of terraforming cheating and this bonus card present, it's going to be should be reliably somewhat easy for engineers and mermaids to get their digging. But still, I'm sorry, Illusion, there's not a lot of interest in those mermaids here for me. Yeah, I think this layout kind of makes sense for engineers. You know, if you're looking to start on the double temple, engineers can rack up this trading post scoring twice, whereas no other faction will do better than twice, and most won't even do that well. Then you expand out your dwellings on round 2, and, you know, round 5's not the worst time to get an engineer stronghold. Definitely very happy to see someone else jump on mermaids for 30, because again, I do not think they're at their strongest here. So I'm going to go ahead and whack down engineers a point and see how this unfolds. Yes, Illusion, I know there is an option for that, and I am not interested in engaging it. In fact, I've actually been working on a bit of tech to deal with stream sniping. I've been Coding up a custom BGA CSS. Oh, okay. Well, if people are gonna grind the engineers down enough, I'm very happy to play Darklings here too. So, I'm sure the Darklings are not gonna sell out at 29 here, so we can bid them down some. So my CSS tech to prevent stream sniping is, as you can see, my avatar and name don't show up anywhere anymore. So once I've sort of got that working perfectly, I could contemplate changing my BGA username and avatar and bio. And then the idea is that no one would know who I am to stream snipe me, but I haven't decided if I want to go on off that lead yet. Do I play on Snellman? So, not much, no. I mostly use it as a self-teaching tool. Because Snellman will let you play against yourself, so I can grind lots and lots of openings that way. That's my main use case there. Okay. Oh, engineer's going way down here. So I think one of the classic problems in this matchup, if you do wind up on the Darklings, is that they can become very short on power reception in the early game. There's kind of a tendency for it to naturally flow to the engineers under most starting location circumstances. So the Darklings have to do things a hair goofy if they actually want to catch in and get some early power. And I am prepared to do this. No, give me those Darklings. So the main issue is you can get kind of a leeching power triangle present here, and nobody wants to play much on this continent in the early game. So you can wind up feeding power to the engineers while they give none back because they play over here. And that is just not the situation you want to be in as the Darklings with the one-way power transfer. So, Oh, I'm still happy to keep bidding Darklings. I think engineers should probably not be that much lower than Darklings on this matchup, even though they are statistically the favorite. But at some point, we have to content ourselves to bail and swap to Nomads, and we need to figure out when exactly that is. Illusion? I make no promises at all, I'm sorry. Still content to go more on Darklings. Ha ha ha. Down I go. You have to be a little careful with Darklings here. The biggest danger... I'm going to take an unusual start to make sure I can get fed some power. But the real biggest danger, as a Darkling player here, is that there's not a ton of coins on these bonus cards. We're missing that all-important 6-coin card. And the Darklings always come up very short on coins compared to other resources. So in particular, trying to get our Sanctuary down early is going to be really brutal if we're not cognizant of that fact. But I am sort of amused that we can start Darklings with a Water 2 favor and jack ourselves up to receiving both of these cult bonuses back to back. And that could have some nifty payoffs. So what do we want to do here? I still don't know that I have any special interest in playing the Nomads, even at these point discrepancies. Let's take a look at Snellman's stats and see what they think. We'll go plus 10 on Darklings. I believe the Engineers are listed at plus 15 currently, and the others are both available at 30. So, under these conditions, Mermaid's a heavy favorite, but we've already kind of been over how this is about as bad a bonus tile set as you could get for Mermaids. So not super interested in them. Maybe this is the spot where we bail and grab the Nomads. It wouldn't be so crazy. If we do, that gives us some nifty guarantees about catching a good bonus tile. Surely the Mermaids will start on the Spade card. But we would be plenty happy to get this 3 power and a worker. Yeah. Let's see. Thinking this through. So we can start over here to try and leech with Darklings and Engineers. Certainly over here we'll catch an adjacency with the Mermaids. Really the key thing will be that we have to beat the Darklings to this hex. I mean, we don't have to coming up here, but there's some nice incentives in it for us. Okay, that's good feedback. Let me know if it keeps getting worse, because I have had some net problems before while streaming. This is really a tight call, I think, between jumping on the Nomads plan or running with Darklings. I think we might be very slow to pick up if we want to actually cash on this dwelling scoring, we might wind up being very slow to pick up a Sanctuary as Darklings. That could be a very real argument against. I think this might be the window where we contemplate jumping ship and grabbing the Nomads, and then we try to get 2 towns on round 4. Will be one of the key things we can capitalize. This should be harder for the other races. So... Yeah, we can do that. It plays to the 2 scoring cards well enough. Nomads we are. Let's see how this goes. Yeah, Nomads at 30, still okay. Oh, you still like Darklings or Engineers. Okay. Well, I was contemplating bidding the Darklings at 19. I think there was a real case for that. But, we'll see how this goes. Definitely going to want to keep an eye on how Zoras makes his start. It is a nice thing as Nomads that you can always be last to place a dwelling. So you don't have to guess. Okay. Looks like this Fadi B fellow agrees that Zoras got too good a deal. We'll see about that. It's quite possible that we can make Zoras' life hard. Because, as mentioned, Darklings have the power problem in the early game if they start double east. If they start further to the west, here would be the traditional placement. But to actually absorb power through it, to get a lot of power, they would want to race to this hex. And if we can cut up here quick enough, then this becomes a very awkward beginning position. They can take these 2 spots, but then past that, this is a triple terraform, and this will have been cut by Mermaids already, and it's not super convenient, super conducive to town scoring. So Zoras, he has the possibility of really shooting the moon and taking Darklings at too good of a power rating. Darkling starts C1. Okay. Yeah, that would be a very reasonable tech, actually. Just because then they know they can be stuck in this power triangle. They will have to bridge across here for a town. And they'll have to put a little bit of effort into connecting. And it's effort that's not going to pay off in terms of the shipping scoring card. So, I still think that the number of points at which we bequeath the Darklings is defensible. I'm happy to take this spot because I know the Mermaids are pretty happy about here, and as mentioned, this is a very reasonable Darkling start point. So we'll just go ahead and flag this and see where everyone else does their thing. Yes, illusion, also a good point. This can be a big problem for the mermaids as well. Okay, so mermaids are starting here so that they don't get cut in the way by darklings right there. And that's a pretty reasonable reaction. We can bet on the engineers to start here. So if we really want to get a lot of power, we can kind of take this dwelling off by itself. That does keep us from getting in on any deals over here. But, you know, I think we can manage in that state. I think it's quite possible that this is the spot we want to take. And then we wind up seeing which place Zoras is going to commit to. Because we know engineers are going here. It's a virtual guarantee. It is a bit lame to strand a temple here where it can't be part of a town, though. Definitely not a happy outcome. But it'll be worth so much power to us. Maybe we do it anyway. I do think since the mermaids are a particularly Earth 1 centric faction amongst all the factions out there, that it pays big dividends to make the temple start and not the stronghold start. We do want to be mean to the mermaids in the last chair position and take away their happy times Earth 1. Yeah, we can probably start here and absorb any power through this interaction, and then still upgrade Temple here. I think that works out fine, especially since we're expecting to get this as our starting bonus card. We could still do something like a double dig on turn 1. Yep, in we go. Let's see how this pans out. We know it, yeah, engineers coming in here as predicted. Zoras has to make the hard call, and he goes up top. Okay. So that does kind of bode well for us, but we have to compete to this brown hex before Zoras gets there. Because then he needs to make an extra dig to form a town along the edges here, and it's a little more digging for us if we don't get it. We'll do okay without, because we're the Nomads, so, you know, yay Nomads. This looks like a perfectly fine window to grab a town that no one's going to be able to interfere with, though. So we'll just chuck a dwelling in here. And let's see how this goes. So I don't know about benefiting 3 rounds in a row, Illusion. It benefits 2 rounds in a row, but the Darklings actually hate this cult reward more than most factions. Because, you know, they want to be using their priests for other stuff, and then this just rewards other people in a way that the Darklings are not rewarded. If we grab this, we'll have 3 workers post-temple, and we maybe, kinda, hopefully have power to execute a double dig action. If not, we can at least have single dig. I think it should be okay. We'll want to have the digging down, and then maybe we can actually contemplate holding dwellings back. I don't know if that's a great move on round 1, but dwelling scoring is the game on round 2, so we can look to do it. I think this is where we want to be. Whew. Little nerve-wracking with these opponents. There's also, if you do take the Water 2 favor illusion as the Darklings, then you are ensuring you don't get an Earth 1. You'll definitely not be fast enough to compete with an income favor, not on this loadout. Okay, pretty cool that they've chosen to pass the power to us in here rather than pass it to engineers. Because now we know we're getting power from everybody. It's amazing. And we can upgrade this in better conscience. Like this we like having here to take power, but we don't want to strand a temple here where it can't be part of a town. You know, we really need to race to that town holding. So upgrading this first is a big nicety in terms of what it gives us later for founding towns. But we'll just take small power increments over through this zone. There is also I suppose mermaids could choose to upgrade this, but it seems less likely that they would. I think this will be the one going up instead. Okay, so we get the most power. All the power. The person who's getting denied power is the engineers. And I think if the start is like that, then they have overpaid. Overpaid in points for engineers, that is. We can be quite happy about how this is going. Look, this is, you know, infinite power sitting around. Okay, so right here's the moment of truth. If we do anything else, we're not going to get our Earth 1 favor. Zoras, because he has the pre-start, is going to be interested in taking this power action. And that means, you know, engineers, they will absolutely want to perform a dig as their next action. But engineers don't have the power to double dig, so we could hopefully... No, actually, mermaids will cut double dig here. So actually, taking Earth 1 may deny us the dig, but you know, dwelling scoring's round 2 anyway, so banking the power for max digs is maybe not the worst thing in the world that I've heard. We want our Earth 1. We're gonna be petty like that, and maybe we get to dig. Maybe. I don't know that we can hold our breath for that. But we got the favor and mermaids didn't. This is definitely the spot where mermaids will double dig. Because if they don't, then they've really gotten next to nothing for this round. I know! Evil mermaids being all cute in their picture. It's unfortunate to have this third chair seating where we have to choose between getting the power action we want and getting the favor we want. If we were first or second chair, we would not have had to make that choice, which is maybe a particularly strong incentive to have done this otherwise. You know, Zoras will certainly be able to race us out to this brown space now, and that's really terrible, because now mermaids can also build in here, and that actually just boxes this in. We don't have a way out of here forming a town except to come across the bridge. And by some miracle, engineers have not taken this. Very surprised they wouldn't choose the dig there. I'm not sure about this start on their part. Anyway, we have to figure out where we want to dig, because we know that if we dig to here, we're still going to get cut off. Like, oh, wait, no. Actually, Zoras took the priest, as opposed to this power action. So, actually, if Zoras does not absorb more power, maybe we can compete over to this space. It's a little unclear how we would go about doing that. So, Zoras would have to absorb 2 more power to have access to this. But he's definitely grabbing 1 from engineers, who's probably finishing out the temple this turn. I think it's worth our time to try and make the race here. You know, there's no danger of this disappearing on us in a meaningful way. Engineers can compete up, but then we can compete across once we have access to a sandstorm. So definitely looking to dig, and even though dwelling scoring is next round, I actually think that I'm going to be looking to build the dwelling just so I have access to making a move over here. And quickly enough to try and catch this space. We don't have a ton else we can do for this round, but I think that's alright. We're passing in a position where we can take a very coveted power action. We may well continue to absorb power. Yeah, here we go. So now we can... There's actually some question. We may be... Oh, are mermaids starting? Mermaids are starting water too. Okay, so other people are going to be cult competing. I assume Zoras' decision to start with the priest is based around this coming up. So that Zoras would like to be... Yes, so in goes the priest. Zoras would like to receive both of these and then get a little more out of this outcome. There's a real chance that we can pass and open up on the double dig next turn. And that would be lovely if doable. There's a lot of temptation around getting extra coins as well, but, that's probably going to be what we take away from our bonus card instead. Because we don't really have great pass options. We could look to just try and start scoring with dwelling scoring early. Nomads are in a position to capitalize on dwelling scoring earlier than other races, just by virtue of starting with the extra dwelling. And 3 coins, gets us enough to build all the dwellings we want. It'll put us up at 8 coins, and if we actually somehow got 4 dwellings down next round, that would be nothing short of miraculous. So we can take that. Oh, don't be so down. Okay, so Zoras has absorbed enough power by virtue of getting a priest in here. So actually Zoras has a killer start because he's going to take this right now. And that is going to be the... we could cut this just to slow him down. It's really actively pretty bad for us to cut this away. But if we don't do it, then Zoras gets to construct, using his power, 2 dwellings, and he'll come here and here as just the blatantly obvious choices. So we don't want to get cut off. Mermaids have 1 dwelling construction left if they want it, and they're surely going to be wary that losing this spot is not a great situation for them. So if we go ahead and grab this, we can actually build this round if we want to, just by throwing enough workers at the problem. And it's not a happy fix, but it might be the fix that we're looking to make, because otherwise we can get into a lot of trouble here quickly. If this gets cut off and stranded, we are so far behind when it comes to making those towns, and I'm really not interested in that. And, even though this is an inefficient use of workers, we recoup 1 by building something here. So that's not nothing. And actually, we can strand Zoras up in the corner if he doesn't take this quickly enough. Because once we have a stronghold online, we can really take any of these. So I think I'm in favor of cutting this away now. It does leave us short on being able to dig for the next round. We'll figure something out. If we get onto, perhaps this start card that the engineers are holding, we will be in position to take the next move right after their pass, so we can grab it, and we'll just have so many workers, we'll just do all our digs the hard way. And I think that's how this is about to get played. Alright, so let's see, what has Zoras done? Zoras has stolen Cult of Earth. Okay, so Zoras actually doesn't have to terraform now that we've cut him off of a good opening. What do we want to do? We can choose to build this here. We know Zoras can't cut us off anymore. There's just no way he gets enough priests. There is a nicety to being the second passer here, because second passer gets to, second passer just has an earlier shot at the power actions, but unfortunately, given how we've played this, we are not gonna have a ton of power action ability. You know, we may well just be building 2 dwellings using terraforming the hard way. We could have as much as 10 dwellings on for the next turn. Or sorry, 10 workers. That could get pretty crazy. Yeah, Illusion, I think that was something Zoras did knowingly. Like I said, they can, look to connect up top with a lot of shipping, but doing that it's a real risk to them. It's a very, very real risk, just because they don't get paid points for their shipping. That can't happen on this. There's a lot of temptation in taking points from the dwelling scoring card, and maybe 8 workers is enough. We will have 5 points worth of dwellings down if we just do double terraforming the hard way. And that puts us into round 3 with no coins, but we only have 2 actions for next round, so we can maybe get an early enough pass to take this power action for round 3. I think that's what we're going to have to plan on. There's no realistic way we can procure this spade off of the mermaids right now. So round 3, we'll just hope to build our stronghold and get to work towning up. I think that's how this should go. It's probably better than taking the 2 extra workers just to get paid 5 points right off the bat. We can score up a decent margin early. Let's, we can, yeah. No, I really do think this is fine, and engineers are not going to outcompete us for this tile. So, we'll do pretty okay for ourselves passing here. Alright, spicy start. I've certainly never begun like this before, but I think in the head-to-head it was the right way to play. There's really a lot of risk of bad things happening if we get cut off here. It would be very dangerous to bequeath this power action to Zoras. We get to move before him to take this middle point, so not too much risk of us getting cut out of the town anymore. It's actually possible we could build a town in here, one down here, and our third town could come around underneath. If mermaids kind of do the classic town with these 3 tiles and the coral reef, building under the bottom here is not so crazy, because, if we come down to this tile as our 4th spot for the town, then jumping, this is a free jump with shipping, and these would have to be sandstorm terraforms most likely, but this is only a single dig to grab, so it wouldn't be too bad. Zoras is gonna have an insane cult game, oh my goodness, so insane. What cards are people gonna pass on to is an interesting question. The other thing Zoras can do if he really wants to make sure he wraps up Sanctuary on the next turn is he can grab this power action now. But that's not happening. It's a little interesting. I guess there's not too much worry of it. Engineers will have the power to grab this, but I don't think they're going to want it. They're going to be desperately short on workers. Okay, so spade is vacant. That's a lot of incentive to be passing quickly. Mermaids, okay. Mermaids cutting this way is interesting in a good way for us, because it just makes it that much harder for Zoras to connect as Darklings. Engineers cutting out the double dig, losing both of these, not very happy. We do need to be careful about losing access to this tile. If not, we can certainly found a town on these 3 spaces. There's no real risk of this one disappearing anytime soon. I think, we lack the power to grab this, unfortunately. If we come over here, we can ensure that we get to absorb 1 power from engineers. So this looks like the one of the 2 that should be procured first. I think engineers, unlikely to muster another dig for the round, so we don't have to worry about losing down this space down here, which we really want just yet. And gaining the 1 power up here is pretty nice for us. It will let us build yet another dwelling using the priest as a worker if we have to, through this power action, though admittedly this probably won't persist. This is likely what the mermaids are taking at the next move. So we may not be able to get this to work. So if we dig up here, we can take the 1 power. Yeah, let's do it. Let's see, we don't have any requirements on our trading posts, so we can be a little mindful about where we want to put that. There are some interesting possibilities. Okay, so Zoras can't take both of these in one go, so us being situated to grab this quickly, still working to our advantage. We can expect this to be off the radar by the time that it comes back to us, though. Very unfortunate. Making sure we didn't get cut off here, we really paid a lot for that privilege last round. But, by inference, it really sort of hurt the Darklings lots and lots. So we can be pleased about that. Okay, Zoras going for the coins. This kind of suggests to me that we're about to see a sanctuary come out. That would not be so weird if true. Okay, so this still exists, but we still have not absorbed power to do something with it. We actually can't use a priest to give ourselves the needed power to take this. I think this is very much intentional by the mermaids. They knew nobody could take this away, so they were happy to wait on it. In the meantime, I think we can dig this space to get 1 extra power if Zoras makes a move out of here. And then, we just kind of hope that somehow we have this at our next pass, but again, I don't think it's very likely. So we'll just keep digging the hard way. We can do this before it leeches any power points through there. So Zoras, when he builds the sanctuary, he will... Okay, there's our power. That does mean... It probably doesn't mean we can grab this. I'm still expecting it to vanish to the mermaids. Is Zoras going to grab a water 1 this early? That seems kind of likely, given that he passed on any chance for an income favor in the first round. They're quite a lot worse by round 2. Only 80% value. They collect 1... okay, fire 1. Well, that's certainly a way that he can choose to circumvent the low coin availability that's present here. Also, we just got handed the opportunity to grab this. Engineers can't take it away anymore. So I think we'll be all over that, given that a dwelling this round is 3 more points than a dwelling the next, on top of its income. So we'll happily make this conversion, and we're going to need to burn some power. The reason we can be okay burning power enough that we don't take the double dig is because of our Nomad voodoo. We just don't need to double dig when we get to sandstorm stuff. So I will happily dig this one away, and then we can just have so many points. It does mean that we don't have any opening power action to take with our first pass for the next turn, if we even are still a first passer. Zoras could very reasonably be checking out in front of us in this spot. But that, that opens us up to grab his stronghold card. Okay. We got stuff and things. Hooray for us. Right. Yep. So, what did you almost forget, Illusion? I am curious. I'm guessing? Okay, I'll have you know I'm not a big fan of guessing games, but after all this time, I'm enough of a fan of you that I'll play just for your sake. I'm going to guess that you procured a board game you've been waiting on. Because otherwise, you wouldn't be super likely to bring it up in this channel, so it's sort of a cop-out guess, guessing this general, because what are the odds I'm wrong, really? Not that great. Oh, do I have to keep guessing? Is that how this works? Able to further it. Okay, is it related to War of the Ring? Yeah, definitely some comments here, because I've taken some pretty aggressive lines so far. I'm aware of this fact, but on the flip side, I'm okay with how it worked out for us. Not so upset. Not at all, really. Do need to get our stronghold out next round, I anticipate. We may well wind up first to pass in this spot. If we are, we'll take a spade and 3 coins, and that's almost as much for the coins at this point as it is for the spade, because we're going to need 11 of them to upgrade a trading post into, or upgrade a dwelling into a stronghold, and that is a lot. A lot. Even taking that spade card, we would be at 5. That is not a pretty picture. But good odds on Zoras passing here, maybe? It's unclear. And Engineer's virtually certain to pass, I would think. Unless they want to burn 1 million power tokens for this. So we can take the Engineer's card if we want. It's what Nomads do. If you got a physical copy of the Through the Ages expansion, is that a thing that I can order now? Because I have been desperate for that. That's the main thing holding me back from playing the game live. Because unfortunately, the base set without the expansion is both slightly samey and not super great balance-wise. It's a little degenerate on a couple points. With the expansion, I think Through the Ages is really hype. Really hype. I'd be excited to play it a lot. You are correct. This is definitely a feature match of sorts. Not of sorts, it just is. This is hype. We are playing some extremely good players here. We can be quite happy about that. So perhaps incrementing our shipping for a round just for the power is potentially worthwhile. Just to gain access to the coins to do what we have to do moving forward. we're really feeling the burn on coins at this point. Definitely passing. We can lock that in right now. And look at how much we're ahead of people. I mean, Zoras is going to pick up 4 when he passes from his bonus tile. And, you know, he has... Oh, no, Zoras invested the priest. Interesting. So, we can give ourselves more coins in the long run by investing this priest in a cult track, but I'm kind of interested in doing things now as much as is possible. I would really like to set up to take at least 1 town, if not 2, on this round 4. But it's unclear where our money comes from. It's a real problem. So we'll be very shy of this power action just by grabbing this card. Unfortunately, the spade doesn't do all we want it to by itself, because none of these are single terraforms for us to capture. So we are really sort of single-mindedly... Let's see, how many dwelling or workers are we taking in? We're taking in 7. So we only need 6 to build a stronghold, so that's a source of a coin, I guess. This is rough. Not sure I like where this is headed right now. Taking the priest does let us score more here. I guess we just have to give up on the idea of a stronghold. We'll use the stronghold to make town in this round. So do we want to try and grab a temple? Can we even do that? That's still a lot of coins. Let's rope in this spade. It has the most coins stapled onto it. That's something. Illusion, I don't know if that's true. Other people have lots of resources coming their way. Like the Darklings chugging down priests to get their terraforms, and they're going to be super happy about building a temple this round. Super duper happy. What we can say more comfortably is that we're set up a little better for connecting than anyone besides the mermaids, maybe? Or about equally well with them. And, you know, we have lots and lots of land and workers coming out. So that's something to celebrate. Engineers will have to pass us a lot of power as they make moves in here, which is presumably where their round 4 town is coming from. So I'm going to be first to move with, like, nothing. What do I want to do about that? We're gonna need these scoring cards as often as we can get them moving forward. That, you know, we won't have this for next round, but we won't have our stronghold next round. We will, on the other hand, be getting the stronghold the round after. I'll make sure that happens somehow. Okay, so where do we want our priest to go? You know, if we invest... Trading our priests in to get coins seems exceptionally worthwhile. And if we invest in fire, we do get paid some minimal rewards. This is our last opportunity to invest in earth and receive this free spade, though. That's probably worth enough just by itself that we should go ahead and jump on that before the window closes. Because nothing else that we have here is maximally pressing to conduct. Unless we want to dig this into brown just to make it more annoying for mermaids to come in. Not too interested in... Yeah, let's seal this away. We have it! Huzzah! We'll get paid 2 points as a cult reward. It also set us up with 1 power in case by some miracle we leech enough that this is available, but that seems basically straight up impossible. Mermaids will jump on this so fast. So fast. If we want to build a temple to score this round, that would take 4 workers, 8 coins. That's 12 resources. We have 12 resources in total. Maybe we should have been minded towards racing for the water 1 favor. That's definitely something to think about doing here. Maybe that's our next go. Maybe that should have been our first go, but that is going to make it unusually hard to procure a stronghold in round 4. So I don't know how happy I am with that on net. We will, using this spade, plus, digging a space the hard way or some such thing in the round after, we can get 4 spaces for a town. And we can, well... Yeah, okay. So if we put the second temple over in here, then that we get this round, that does make it so that this is worth a town just with an easy TP upgrade, plus a dwelling or our nomad trading post, what have you. So that can... That does seem like we could still get town and take a water 1 favor, especially now that engineers made that move. We know we can outrace to water 1 favor and not be the last one there. But we're still gonna face down the problem of still no stronghold, which is just gonna kind of get embarrassing at that stage. Okay, we can lose a lot of points to gain a lot of power here. I think it's worth it because we desperately need to be set up for this in the round after if we can't take it this round, which we probably can't. Okay, and this gets sealed off by the mermaids. No surprises there. So we're gonna... okay. We have access to building our stronghold for the next round as long as we pass quickly enough this round. Because this, I'm just sort of struggling to imagine how this doesn't give it to us. This stronghold plus a dig the hard way, I think... Hey, Lexabite! Nice to see you. I do think I want a temple in this assembly, just because this may well be where I need a sanctuary for a town. But which of these do I want to put it on? I think, so that I can capture power from upgrades up high, I probably want this middle one. Because we know upgrades are coming in here from engineers. It just has to be to get this round 4 town. So we are going to throw them a ton of power now. Oh well, is basically the best I can say to that. Let's do it. Great. Now we're we still are on lock to get access to our water 1 favor, which is good because we're very much playing the points strategy. Just blitz points, points. Okay, double dig here, so Zoras is making sure he cannot get cut off, which is a very reasonable, respectable course of action. You know, if he wants to build this over here, then this same round, which I imagine he does when you look at his resources, and you also consider he's going to want to score a town on round 4, then that actually sets us up in the first chair passing position to lead off with this. So our money problems are not solved, but abated for 1 round. Woohoo! The special landscape for the Nomads is the trading post. So it has the goofy power that whenever you would leech power in a spot that's from it, you can what you can do is you gain a third option. You know, you can decline the power, you can accept the power, or special third option, you can gain no power for no points and take 1 coin. So that often works out pretty well for you. Because, you know, a coin is like... It's almost as good as 2 power. And it's, and you don't pay any points for it. So it can set up some really favorable leeches in a contested zone, and I don't think we're well situated to take advantage of it. Where we wanted to put it was like here, but then we wouldn't have gotten all those extra dwelling scoring points. So what can you do? Okay, still no danger of us losing out on water 1, so we don't have to do that here. We can go ahead and throw our dig at something. If we dig this to red, it's 1 further away from Darklings, and... oh no, sorry, it's equally far from Darklings terraforming it, and it's 1 farther from the mermaids trying anything cheeky. And then we're set up when we build our stronghold in here to make it happen the next round. So that's pretty cool. Let's go ahead and just pop the spade, because we have spade. Go Spud! No, that is not what we are doing. We are turning it red. Thank you very much. Is this right? Yes, this is right. It's red now. Waha. Salsa without coffee is a much better combination than the one that we discussed formerly. So unfortunately, I still can't lead off with this power action if I don't leech 1 more power. I'm just remaining hopeful. Somehow, maybe this works for us and we gain the power. Okay, we got it! That's all we need to do this. So we're gonna go ahead and grab our temple for 4 points and a water 1 favor. And then we're gonna pass. We're gonna pass, gaining enough resources to build our stronghold by exact count, and we can use it 3 times. We maybe... woof. Yeah, we're not even gonna quite gain enough workers, actually, that we can check that out wherever we want. This has really, admittedly, gotten somewhat rough. It would be a very sensible thing to do, actually, to just upgrade another trading post in this stretch and pass, I think, without taking the water 1, but that loses out on so many points over the course of the game. I love having points. And this way we also made sure someone else doesn't get a water 1, which is a thing to be happy about. I think somehow we'll leech enough power to make something happen, you know, rack up an extra worker from some source or other. I'm not super too worried about it. It'd be nice if we got 1 power without having to burn a token. Okay, mermaids, probably taking their water 1 favor here. If they don't, it's gotta be, I think, fire 2. Oh, it is fire 2. Okay. So we could entertain the idea of a fire 2 to make it easier to make towns out of all this nonsense for the next round. But a water 1 is worth more points over the course of the game than this will be. Hard to say. It still doesn't look like anyone else is in a position to pass ahead of us except Zoras, who could easily pass in this spot, but Zoras is not gonna have the power. The most he could gain is 3 by taking this bonus card. So Zoras will, definitely not have the power to cut this action. So, we're still okay taking another one. And, you know, I think I want my water 1. It's okay. It's even okay if I miss hitting the town next round. It will still compensate me more than 5 points to have a water 1 in time. So we're gonna do that. Not spending any power. Okay. More points. Woohoo. Yes, engineers, you can absorb all the, Okay. So I guess we can get punished here. Now I'm realizing if the engineers pass in front of us with all this power, they can definitely cut away the action that we want. I don't know if they would choose to, though, because they have 4 money income just from the cult bonus already. So their balance of workers to money would be fairly appropriate, even if they passed in this spot, so they'd more likely be interested in taking something like this. They'd actually have more money passing here than it looks like, because they would have to down convert some coins before the pass to even accept all their power. Attorney game to play. Oh, those are hype. Good luck to you, Illusion. I'm really pulling for you. Okay, Darklings do pass in front of us. They deny us points for getting our stronghold, but we still have some nifty pass options. Now, what can we take here that's nifty? So we can get even more coins, plus get paid points for all these dwellings we have out. Getting paid points, very solid. This 3 power doesn't really equate into anything except an extra couple coins. So the couple coins on that, kind of even with this. I think I like the points more than getting that worker. We'll kind of see how stuff shakes out, but I really do think long run we need to be reaping all the points that we can here. So let's go ahead and pass here and secure this. Bridge! Woo! Okay, so not too weird. Engineers would want this bridge just so they're better situated for a town's founding. Hopefully we do get to take in some power through the engineers here, because we are going to want some extra resources after we take our cash stack. But if all we get is the cash stack, we'll still make do. Somehow. Somehow it will happen. Okay. If engineers are grabbing their spade, they're surely looking to use it in one of these 2 locations. We are losing royally on the cults, but you know, we're not actually last place on any of them. Or at least not untied last. Zoras is gonna have some tricky moves ahead, potentially. I guess he had to skip the extra priest for reaping all of the potential points through priest terraforms. He couldn't get another temple because you look at this, he only has 3 priests left in supply. He's already reaping 2 around. It's very limiting to have to spend all his priests by exact count without sending them to the cults every turn. So it's not exactly hard to make sure that he doesn't miss out on priests through the cap, but it at least takes some modicum of attention to make that happen. It's not something that'll go by accident. Okay, cool for us maybe if we can grab a priest in this slot, just because it gives us a good shot of being not last in fire. You know, not last it's a way we can do things. Zoras is really, really well situated to gain lots of points in economy and all that, but not to connect. Still gonna have to put in titanic efforts to connect. And we have a point lead on the people that aren't Zoras. I mean, we even have a point lead on Zoras, but not a big one. So, you know, if we rely on network bonuses to offset this point margin here, we can maybe make some stuff happen. There's also, we're the only one that has double point favors. So just randomly being the monkey that clicks random moves is, at this juncture, that's gonna be worth more points for us than for other people doing that. Like all our incidental stuff worth points. And look at that. I even got 1 power so that I don't have to burn a final power token to make this play. And I'm super thrilled about that. Gonna go ahead and sign me up for coins. Yes? No? Yeah, I think this is fine. If we have to terraform a space by Stronghold Sandstorm, so be it. If we can't do a natural terraform on this tile, it'll be okay. And we can get our extra worker to build a dwelling after getting the stronghold, just through priests. Our priests are worth a lot less now that we're past the round that pays us coins for investing them in cults. Not that we milked that round by any stretch. Not even close. Looks like they're gonna leech power to mermaids here, not to us. Finishing out the town here. I would imagine this is the round maybe it's the round we see an engineer stronghold? Actually, that's unclear. It kind of fits the build order very naturally and gives them a healthy amount of time to reap the points that come from the stronghold if they build it here. But they also get paid 5 points to build it next round instead. Mermaids cutting up this basically kind of seals the deal that Zoras cannot connect. It's theoretically possible at this juncture still, but now it just takes astronomical amounts of effort. Oh, we get to take another power, and we get to take it without even spending points. What favor was garnered? A Water 1 favor. Okay, so someone else is rocking double points favors. Either the mermaids will miss out or the engineers will miss out. And if the mermaids miss out, they won't have any points favors this game. Except Fire 2, which is a funky kind of points favor. Now, we have the possibility to put the stronghold on either of these groups. I was kind of thinking of doing it here because we make a natural 4-space town on this end, but it's looking likely that our only terraform recourse is to use the stronghold power, and then we'll get a town off of that, right? In either one. It'll be 3 for the stronghold, 4, 5 for the temple, 6, and 7 for terraform with sandstorm and build a dwelling. So we'd actually rather sandstorm this tile than this one. Mermaids don't have the option to dig this away from us anymore, so it's not going anywhere. We can kind of take these both in our sweet time. So I think I'd rather do it here. Just get 2 spades out of the terraform instead of 1. I think that's how we're gonna do it. Let's go ahead and take this. It doesn't really matter much where we put the stronghold between these two, actually. Do we have enough resources to do... Oh, we may come up a little short coins-wise when it comes to... May come up a little short coins-wise when it comes to building that dwelling. We have enough resources to make it all happen by exact count, but it involves spending a priest as a coin, which is one of the worst deals you can get here. So let's go ahead and town right here. Yeah. Center town, we got this. And we'll just kind of hope that somehow we collect a little more in resources. Let's see, we have tons and tons and tons of spectators lining up at this point. Okay, engineers actually made a temple upgrade, not stronghold, so that might be indicative that they're taking Fire 2 in order to facilitate town formation. Otherwise, this is going to... No, okay, so they're still planning to upgrade a trading post in here to finish this town. And when they do, we will collect power from it. So, it works out. Unfortunately, they have leached power to the mermaids, and there's this dangerous thing where the mermaids can have this spade if they only get 2 more points of power, and they can make that happen. They have the power through priest investiture. Nope, I lied. They need to found a town first, or they can't cross to these 10 gaps to get that power. So, yeesh. Yeesh. The reason we're worried about single spade is we don't want the mermaids to cut this spot from us. It's not actually their best spot to put it, because they already have town spaces here. They already have a town there. They'd probably want up here as town number 3. But actually, they may still use the spade, and in particular, they may use it to place a coral reef this turn. So we can actually be pretty worried about this happening, just because that's... if they use it to place the coral reef, it's fine. We don't care about losing this action. We care about losing this swamp hex is the real problem. So let's hope that's not how things go down here. Yeah, we're just kind of racing to see if we can get the stronghold fast enough. Mermaids... Okay, mermaids have actually spent power for other resources now? No, they could still take the spade if they just gained any power at all. Okay. So, yeah, any power would be enough for them to do it. So, but they, as long as the engineers don't give it to them on the next move, it's fine. Because we'll be able to cut this away using the stronghold straight away after that. So here we go. We has the stronghold. What's going on here? Ah! Oh, I am getting... Oh, gosh, BGA is warning me about calling myself a noob. How evil of me. Alright, engineers grab this. That means no mermaids don't have their power to make the play that can be so punishing for us. So, we're happy. Just not even to say that they would have made the play if they could. It was just an option they had available. All is okay in the world, except for this tiny detail where we're spending a priest as a coin, and it feels so gross. But we'll do it. We will do it in order to get our town. And we finally have a stronghold online too, which is super duper overdue. If you start Temple with Nomads, probably looking to get your stronghold in round 3 ideally. 4 is pretty late. Yes, so incredibly polite, Lexavite, for VGA, to warn me that I'm using this offensive word noob in regards to myself. Yay. Now I'm advertising for other people. Anyone who's in my stream chat, or who watches this VOD, please take note of what I say here. Zoras has an excellent guide series he's begun on in his YouTube channel. As I pitched at the start of this, Zoras, commonly renowned for being one of the best Terra Mystica players, if not the absolute best one. This is why it was very nerve-wracking sitting and playing against him. If you search Zoras BG on YouTube, you will be able to find it. His Ultimate Guide to Alchemists and Ultimate Guide to Darklings. I'm sure he's going to complete that out with some more of them in time, but I highly recommend that series. Okay. Super painful conversions, but we can make our town. Here we go. You know, actually, we can make our town without doing these asinine conversions if we just put a trading post here. In retrospect, that is way less stupid. Let's not do all of this junk. Trading post it is. I think, let's double check this has no requirements. Yes, it has none. Okay. So we can terraform a trading post here. It's unlikely to actually reap trading post value from its ability, but we'll get compensated by more than we could for its ability anywhere else, just by not having to run these terrible, terrible conversions. So, yeah, I'm pretty happy to do it that way. Let's lock this in. Ah! I need a trading house. Okay. Conversions time. I guess we are doing this the lame way. Dwelling it is. Yeesh. Okay. Give me a town. What town do I want? I think I just want coins. Give me coins. There we go. Okay. We are gonna need all of that cash the next round. Even if we have no use for it this round. So, other things that we need to do. We need to get our shipping up. We can start work on building a town down here with our shipping by coming up to this adjacency with the engineers over here. I mean, obviously we can also do it down this way, but we've already been cut off through here, so this can't be a town, which is why I'm attracted to this. And we get a free building site. Oh my goodness, that's power. This will cap us out at 4 power for the next round, so we're actually going to take it. We're going to take it because it means that if I pass here, I have, with my 2 income from the Nomads stronghold, I have first dibs on the money again. Money, 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 money. We don't need this because we are already power capped. So taking this is just spending a point for a coin. And actually, you know what? We can do that too. We're still okay doing that. Fork it over. I agree with you, Hubertwee. The round 3 temple was incredibly sketchy. We will see how that comes to fruition, if that comes to fruition. It's definitely a play I was on the fence about. Because, and the reason it drains my economy is not so much the scaling of workers down into coins as that I could have instead built 2 trading houses, and 2 trading houses would be fixing a lot of the problems I'm facing. So we can't pass on to any of the bonus cards that we want. Not really, not yet. We can get our last priest investiture here to make sure we defeat engineers on this cult. Since we can't pass on to a bonus card we want just yet, I think what we're gonna do is, we're gonna go ahead and jump on this. And we'll just wait. We'll wait for the bonus we need to be available to us. Oh no, I spent all my priests. Big lie, I'm passing now. Okay, so this is... Yes, we can accept all the power coming in, we just have to figure out what we want. One option is don't upgrade shipping, take temp shipping. If we do that, we'll want to convert another coin here. We could also look to grab a priest, but we're getting priests enough for what little hope we have at scrapping for the cults. So I think I like grabbing temp shipping, just to save us from having to upgrade that quite as quickly. We can do this, and then here we cap ourselves when we pass onto the shipping card. What we lose on taking this line is, we actually, it's not clear anymore that we really need the coins. This may not be our leading power action anymore. Or maybe it is, just because we know we'll need them in round 5, but we don't need them as immediately. Because we have these 9 sitting here. I think it would be very sketchy to claim that I actually liked my spot in this position, because we are more even on points with some of these factions. Engineers are very far down on points compared to us, so that's something. Mermaids, not as far down on points, but they're missing all the point favors, or at least the good ones, the ones that really matter. So I would like to think we can continue to widen that point gap against them. Illusion, we've been over this. Whether you want it or not, I'm not Batman. It says in the bio. I wouldn't lie to you. You could guess literally any other superheroine and it would be plausible, but I am not Batman. We might be interested in opening with this action to dig this space to round out a town here. That might be the way to do this. Maybe we can try to make a 3-space town over here with the engineers. That means that, you know, we get 2 sandstorms to terraform these, and conveniently we have 2 sandstorms available for the rest of the game. So that works out. Then we don't have to worry too much about digging, which is good because we're not in great shape to do digging. You know, we're too low on power tokens. And we can grab this space for free just as it's a dwelling we can build. We'll take it on the last round where dwellings score for network size reasons. And we're only going to need 1 shipping to connect our whole network. You know, ship for 1 across here, and ship for 1 through here is another benefit of getting this space. Okay, mermaids have locked in the coral reef. So now mermaids very up to par with us in points, but again, we have more points coming in than they do. And that's even true looking at other point sources. Right? Not only do we have the good point favors, and they don't have either one, we also have this, you know, they have, at best, 1 more town to found up here. We have a trivial town coming right here. And then maybe a sketchier one that I would be looking to get down here. Okay, so next round. We know we want to dig this. If we dig it, will we have the resources to get our sanctuary and take points while it scores down here? That's a maybe? I would build dwelling? Oh, sorry, actually we don't... If we build dwelling, and then start upgrading here, and of course the reason we upgrade here is so that we have a neighbor and don't have to pay an arm and a leg for a trading post. It's really quite a lot to get up to a sanctuary from nothing. That's 9 workers. We're not going to have anywhere close to that. There's only 6 coming in. So if we actually want to put a sanctuary somewhere, it's got to be this. And, you know, maybe that's okay. Maybe that's how we do it. Because if we make this a sanctuary, we can grab a Fire 2 favor. And that could definitely service us on completing a town here. It makes the job of completing this town that much easier, frankly. We could, the round could look something like dig this space, then upgrade here taking Fire 2, then build a trading post, because we really want to start passing some of those so we have a little more money income at least. Could be very tricky to dig out a town down here, but, you know, maybe we could just do it with enough dwellings. Right? So just by taking land. This is a single terraform, and that's a single terraform if we come this direction. So there's definitely hope here. Okay, so we're gonna look at 6 workers, 9 coins. How does this shake out for us? We definitely... I know if we're putting a sanctuary here, we don't need this space to make a town, but we absolutely want it. It just gives us 2 tiles we can build on. It's like a little too important for network size. It'd be very good if we could take at least second in network. As things stand, there's actually a very real risk that the engineers will be the ones beating us on network. Kind of helps to hem in the engineers a large amount if we grab this tile. Because with 2 shipping, they could ship from here to here, and 2 shipping's kind of a natural breakpoint for them, because it lets them connect east and west sides through 2 shipping across these. It also lets them jump down to here, so like, they have so many reasons to get 2 shipping, so many, and with it, they can, in a single terraform, gain access to both of these as build sites. So if we take this one away, that could help us compete with them on network. It's a little iffy whether we can compete with mermaids either. Darklings should be a very easy beat on network size, and the only reason I say that is just that I have little to no faith that the Darklings will connect. Sort of Zoras' last hope to make that happen, since digging through here is a nightmare of digs, and that doesn't even do it, because still have to get through this mess. His last hope to make that happen is, I guess he could try and, no, he can't even connect underneath because he has no bridge up to the top. So I'm pretty sure Zoras has just given up on connection already. Which means, you know, we're not gonna get last when it comes to network size. Not last is not the bar we want to aim for, but it's nice that we're guaranteed that already. Do we have the resources for dwelling, sanctuary, TP upgrades? So that takes 7 workers in total. We're only getting 6 as income. So we may continue in our spree of using priests as workers, which gives us enough to build 2 more dwellings. We can put the 7th one just rounds out this, and then the 8th one can go here or here. Surely down here, because we want to be able to sandstorm one of these spots this round. It's too important. Oh! I get a free spade! Right. Silly me to forget that I queued that up. We'll see what the Darklings do with theirs. They get 2 free spades, and if they're feeling cheeky, I guess they can actually turn this black. Looks like they haven't. They're just filling this in. So they've thoroughly given up on any connecting possibility. Even if they get this from me, it's not an easy connection route. And it's one we would surely block, right? Sort of like, if they took this, you can imagine some dream connection scenario where they dig this, then 2 shipping comes here, they dig across, and then they like connect through this tile. I can't terraform. I'm not clicking a space, BGA. I think the engineers tried to terraform a space that was illegal, and it broadcasted that warning to everyone. That's my guess. Actually, where are the engineers interested in using their spades? So, engineers already have their shipping up. They actually took the shipping bonus town tile, as I see it. Everyone's pretty neck and neck here on points, but we have an easy town coming. No one else has an easy town incoming, so that's pretty hype. And we may well have another one coming later. And we have our point favors, and unlike Zoras, we can connect. Like, there's just all these little edges that we may have, even if our economy sucks. We are continuously fighting the battle that our economy sucks. So I can't actually take this. Well, I can. Thanks to my temporary shipping, I can grab here, I suppose. I don't want to lose access to this. I think it's very important that I take it now. So if I were to build it here, Let's see, engineers have already grabbed this. So building here is dangerous because they'll surely desire to cut here in a single move. Unfortunately, we can't sandstorm this tile across water. That's an illegal play. So there's a rationale to building here first, just because then we can attempt to execute a single dig on this tile to help us round this out for territory for another town. Kind of looks like we really need to grab this to set it up. Yikes. We're gonna be short coins this turn too for building, if we want to build the sanctuary. Maybe the line is that we have to wait on this and then just not grab this dig. So we can make everything work out if we open with the money instead, because we can still finish a town in here this turn, grab here, and then sandstorm this space. So I guess we're giving up on that digging possibility, and that's okay. We need a buttload of money to do our things, and here, we found it. It's also very good to take the giant money stack because it keeps the mermaids down. They were desperate for that money stack. And you know, I have a feeling that Zoras would not have even, the engineers probably had the least need of that money pile. But the fact that the engineers have already got the shipping, so they're in a space where we can't cut this away anymore, means we're going to have to play on one side of the tile. They're not going to be silly enough to just miss the fact that we can sandstorm this from them. So we'll be good girls. Not making any moves on you, engineers. Now that we have this, I think our next priority for the turn is... So there's two possibilities. We could look to secure the fire too. But I don't think there's any risk of that going away. Zoras certainly has no desire for it, given that this is towned up and this just has infinite space and buildings. So all it takes is one person to not want Fire 2 favor, and that's already enough. But I don't even think engineers wants it. So no rush on that. We need to make sure we can claim spaces is the next priority. So we'll go ahead and build this as our next slot. Just in the name of towning up here. It keeps one less dwelling to build for the last round. But grabbing the town just to get a little more done this round is going to be worthwhile. Do we have need of... No, not really. Yeah, let's go ahead and take this one. And then just keep working towards that town. We will need a single shipping upgrade for the next round too. Also something we need to be very cognizant of. But it's only one. That doesn't speak for too large a fraction of our resources on the next go. Okay, so engineers moving this direction first. That makes sense. They would... Ooh, okay. It's a lot of cult points. A lot of cult points. I think we're surely losing this cult. We'll just take not last on this cult. Okay, so mermaids have built up here. It seems almost certain they would be getting their third town now. They may be a little limited in what they can pay out for by virtue of not having neighbors to upgrade trading posts for. But the engineers would not be weird if they came here at some point. Again, just to save them on one shipping with connecting. They could also use 3 shipping and come through here. But when you're not getting paid points for shipping through the bonus card, it's never a very savory thing to have to get more shipping than you needed. Let's go ahead and grab our fire too. Yeesh. Can I has? Yes, I has. And that 1, 2, 3. Actually, this is the town already without upgrading things here. That's even better. We can maybe put the trading post down over here instead. What would we need to do that? So we have 3 workers, and we want to go build, sandstorm build, trading post upgrade. That costs 4 workers. And in an ideal world, we wouldn't even have to piss away our priests to make it happen. So I think we're happy to just take more workers, because we don't actually have a good option for paying ourselves money anyway. So get over there, work a town tile. And then we'll be looking at a point town tile in the end position when we jump for a 3rd town, hopefully. Oh, don't need to do any conversions. Okay. I think I'm looking to skip off on this dwelling for this round, because again, this is just a free dwelling to take in the dwelling scoring round. The only reason we're so intent we need to build these ones now is we have to make this sandstorm work for us. Because we're running perilously close to the line on how much we can dig to get an extra town in here. It's gonna be a tight race to get all the things that I want. Because I'm good at wanting a lot. Our next action is going to be cutting out this space. Ooh, interesting option. Okay, so we would gain a lot of power, we'd lose 4 points. How much power income will we have for this next round? So we're going to do 2. We'll have a trading post sitting up. So that's 3 incoming. Not enough when we... It's not obvious we're actually going to have first pass this time around to get our preferred power action. But it would be nice if we were sitting on 4 so that we could get the workers for a hard dig on the brown tile, since we are going to need 4 down here now that this sanctuary is gone. Or, alternatively, we can use the 4 power for this if it's still available in a late check. So, let's... If we take this, we'll move 3 here, we'll move 2 up top. Okay, so we will actually be, like, a little bit past the power cap mark. Little bit. That's alright. I think, probably. This is probably the last big wunk of power we're looking, just in hopes that I can get a good power action on the next round. That good power action will offset these points, I think. But I don't think we're going to take any subsequent power unless it comes to us at a good rate. So things we still have to do this round. We want to get our priests invested while it's still possible. If we throw a priest in here, we get 2 power and we collect an extra worker for the next round. So that's not too bad. Unfortunately, it doesn't actually score us cult points to get moving on this spot. The other spot we can go is in water, where we're competing for not last. But we're not meaningfully competing on the earth or air cults at this juncture, so no desire to throw priests there. So what do we want to do? Do we want to get the priests in first, or alternatively, if we come down to this tile pictured here first, that may help us to procure the 1 power from engineers when they build this spot. 1 free power, always a blessing when they're available. But I don't even know if engineers are necessarily intent on taking this spot this round. You know, they probably will be once I come here, because then they'll see I have the option to sandstorm this, and that's no bueno for them. But until I do that, I don't think they're going to be too worried about it, because they'll want to do it in the dwelling scoring round when it's worth more points. So let's get those priests in. And start by getting a priest here. Since our priests are our power is only for money this round, we will have to make a conversion after we do this. May as well convert now. Actually, it's a better power configuration if we convert after. So, let's go ahead and priest invest. Yeah, this is turning a priest into a worker, which is just kind of a move we probably would have made next round anyhow. But it gives us 2 power out of the deal, which is a coin. So we turn a priest into a worker and a coin by investing in this spot. We also make sure that no shenanigans with taking like a fire 3 favor let the engineers attack us on this call. We're very much have not last on lock. Yeah, okay, up we go. Conversions, yeah, give me money. Okay, all set. Now I am intending to use 4 workers still for the round, and those will come 1, 2, oh, actually I shouldn't have converted, so I could take this perhaps. That may have been the better move. Whoops. Well, I'll build here, and if I get to accept the 1 power, then investing a priest here gives me the other power to potentially take this. That probably leaves me passing in the last chair position, because that's so many moves left to make. I think we're okay passing in the last chair spot. There's still a real chance that some scraps come to us for a power action. Even if they don't, we'll use our power inefficiently. We'll be a little sad we took that giant wunk of it, paying 4 points out at that juncture. But, we can do it. Let's take a look at some of these usernames. We got Jim Boyd, Johnny DS. Oh, I like Belgian Biscuit. I have had a Belgian biscuit before. Or at least I've had a biscuit given to me by a Belgian person who claimed it was a Belgian biscuit, and it was quite yummy. On that topic, I've learned that Belgian waffles very different from the American take on them. Hooray for the benefits of dating a Belgian person. Alright, let's grab this. In we go. Yeah, it is pretty compelling evidence that it was a Belgian biscuit, I agree. Alright, let's see if the engineers panic enough to throw us that point of power. Because, you know, this is actually somewhat threatening, right? Like, I could make a very real play sandstorming this. Illusion? We need to talk about Evil Hamster. He was pretty evil, but I don't think everything is the fault of Evil Hamster. Sorry. That's just not how it goes. Now, if we did sandstorm this mountain away, there is actually some punishment lurking for ourselves. The punishment we will receive is that we would have to pay an arm and a leg to upgrade a trading post in this segment, so this is like not super happy, but we could do it. What we would actually wind up doing if we sandstorm this tile is just don't make the upgrade this turn. You know, just sandstorm and pass. We'll just finish a town from almost nothing. Yeah, that would be the intent. That's a lot of power. Well, it's not actually a lot of power, but, you know, it's power. We can, let's see, Mermaids made this move. There's a 4th chair in between, which is the engineers. They don't have the power to cut this action, so that means we can cut it, if we accept this. And then we can still go on producing power for ourselves after for the next turn, though that's probably just inefficiently procured coins. I think this is fine. I would like to try and make a play to not lose the water cult. So yeah, I can take this. It's 1 point paid. I think that's okay. Unfortunately, okay, there, oof, well, he got to build it while we were power capped. Sucks. Here we go, workers, we have them. This is a nice setup because it means we're gonna have infinity billion workers for next round, which means we can finish this, spending workers as coins if we have to. Infinity billion is a pretty good number of workers. I'm happy about that. We are... Okay, maybe the line actually is we sandstorm... Now that he's over here, we don't have to build the extra dwelling. We can sandstorm the spot without building. And upgrade this to a trading post and pass in that configuration. And what that lets us do is we can take this dwelling when it's worth an extra 2 points. Yeah, I say this, trust me, you're not the only one, but this round has actually gone okay for us, you know. There are definitely arguments that the sequencing could have been better, and I'm pretty sure that's the case, but yeah, nothing really terrifically disastrous has actually befallen us here. Engineers going for third town. Spicy plays. Have to say, third town is a tricky feat with the engineers, cause you wind up wanting to dump your bridges out early, as engineers, just to rack up points on the stronghold, and if you... The lie of the land for where the gray tiles are with engineers kind of necessitates a little bridge help in making many of these towns, so that does create a little conflict between them. Definitely. Oh yikes. We're having a chat argument about, evilness of hamsters. You do you, chat. I don't know if I need to weigh in on this. Oh, what? No, you two are united? I'm sorry, is the punchline here that... What, that I am defeated and evil hamster is responsible for all of the world's woes? Oof, okay, we're really falling behind on these points. You know, maybe it's okay. Maybe. Mermaid's not in the best shape to reap this because they're going to want to be building their town in the last round. And they're going to have to pay expensive prices to make these upgrades. So that's something. Okay, interesting spot here. I have now acquired the ability to not make the trading post this round, if I want, just to pass and get 8 points from a bonus card. And that seems pretty important. I think we want those 8 points. Nope, it's gone. And it's gone. Okay, so we never had any window. There was just 0 capability based on the order of turns for us to have a shot at an 8-point scoring bonus card. So we may as well do our things. Up we go. Here we go. We have a trading house. And we know we want to use a sandstorm. I think, let's see, we have 2 dwellings, so we can put dwelling, upgrade to trading house, dwelling. And the reason we want to do all that with dwellings and not this trading camp is just in the name of building the most possible dwellings. Unfortunately, we're going to be very coin limited. That's just facts. Not happy facts. I mean, we could think about I guess, you know, if we wind up 2 coin capped, we can still use a trading camp as we terraform either of these spaces on the next round. So there's no urgent need to do that now. We'll go ahead and just confirm this. No, I don't think I need to build. Alright, I'm gonna take in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 workers, so I'll be at 11. That's so many. Again, it's money that is the problem here. You know, we get the most money out of taking this spade card, which also saves us troubles digging here. So, oh wait, actually is that... No, we get the most money taking 4 money and a priest. It's an interesting alternative. But I think this works out to more money because it saves us doing a hard dig on that spot. So we can use the 3 workers as coins instead. So we'll happily sign on for the spade. I mean, not happily. What we actually wanted was this for 8 points. But, you know, we'll do it. Damn it. Okay. Go ahead, check out there. And get in there, Priesto. Do I want conversions? Nah. What are the risks of passing here? Not really anything. I think it's fine. You know, we could upgrade another trading house elsewhere for more money, but I don't think there's much point in doing that. We want our trading houses in here for the town bonus. So let's, no conversions. And we'll pass where we sit. Yeesh. Yeah, we'll pass. Okay. Give me this thing. Okay, tight resources, right? Because we have to go dwelling, TP upgrade. That's 10 coins! That's already more than we have! And then once we've completed the town in here, we'll just take whatever scraps or resources we get out of it, and we will upgrade shipping, and if a miracle happens, we can still put the dwelling down here. So that's kind of our plan for the turn. And actually, if big miracles happen, we can put a dwelling down here. So this actually means we're inclined to accept power, even if we have to pay points for it. Because just the money savings are, like, every coin can convert to a lot of points, because an extra dwelling is 4 points! You know, there's the worry we'll run out of dwellings, but not if we put the trading camp in here. So that's how we're gonna do that. We will definitely be, you know, sandstorm here. Well, build here first, sandstorm, trading camp. This will be a sandstorm build. And we upgrade one of these. We have resources for all that, so just whatever we've banked at that point works to building out at these points. Lexabite, I would strongly agree with you that is the case of Evil Hamster. Even if I don't want to blame Evil Hamster for everything, I have to agree that an Evil Hamster, sort of by definition, is an animal of questionable moral character. Now, if we got 2 shipping here, we would actually grab this, and then we would have access to that after. And, you know, picking up this as part of our network is something. That could easily matter. We'll just look and see how things shake out. But the bottom line is, like, all the power we can get here, we get scored returns on it. And then, if things go well, we are situated to, you know... Unfortunately, mermaids are ahead of us on points. They get points for passing. And they're situated to maybe take a town in here. Maybe. Mermaids building here. You know, nice that we cut this away from mermaids. There's hopes of beating more people than just engineers. I think we got the beat on engineers on lock. Not worried about losing that. Okay, engineers dig in. Double dig this tile. Okay. Well, that's gone from us. Oh well. How do we want to play this? A very plausible way to start, given that this is gone, and the mermaids don't have power to get over here, and darklings have no reach over here. Since we're not really worried about losing these spaces, and the engineers aren't really going to be able to do subsequent digging except through this action, which isn't enough to dig these. These are actually triple digs for the engineers. So, yeah, I think any worry about losing the spaces is abated. And what we really want is we want to throw down a priest to ensure that we are not last on a water cult. The disadvantage of doing that is we lose the ability to get to shipping and connect up this way. But I think that's an unrealistic pipe dream. Unless, of course, we take 9 points and a priest as our town tile. Well, it could happen. I would like to just go ahead and grab this. Get in there, Priesto! We can only accept 2 power here, and I know I just raved about how we actually do want a good amount of power, but it's okay. You know, we're happy to cap ourselves a little so that we don't pay infinite points for our power. Okay, Darkling Bridge. That's cool. Darklings save themselves on needing any shipping this game. Because, you know, they can't connect to this anyway. Mermaids are indeed paying the expensive price. And they have their stronghold already, so the only way that they can, and their sanctuary, the only way they can finish this town is to pay another super expensive price to upgrade a trading post. So, and that'll do it for them because, you know, they have the Fire 2 favor. But it's a thing we can get happy about, at least. Okay, let's go ahead and grab this space before it goes anywhere on us. We're just gonna work on grinding this out. Fill in all that space. Hopefully the act of building so many dwellings gives us a meaningful point amount. Because the mermaids don't get to do that. They don't get to build dwellings this round outside of that one that they built already here. So that's the angle we're trying to drive home to beat mermaids. That's probably not enough because they've got us so bad on the cults. But, interesting question. Can we beat the mermaids on network? Probably not. So they are already connected via their 3 shipping. And they have so much down to start with. They are losing access to blue hexes. I guess they can build this one. That's not going anywhere. Okay. Upgrade is made. Yeah, we have a little too much to build, I think, to reasonably expect to defeat mermaids on network. So I think that means we are probably getting 3rd place network. We'll see how stuff shakes out. If we somehow wound up with a superfluous dig through power, this would be an interesting spot to take network-wise. Just because it gives us, you know, here, here, here to build. But again, our coins are a little too tight for all that. If we actually made it to 4 power, we might be better off just building this action. If that somehow happened. And interesting. Can we force that happens? It's not out of the question. Because nobody else has the power to take this action under present circumstances. So all we would have to do to ensure that we get it is throw our last priest right now at the Earth Cult, and then we would have the power to do it. The problem with that line is then upgrading shipping to 1 is all important, and we don't have priests for it anymore. So we would become reliant on grabbing this. Can we expect to grab that? Probably. Zoras definitely cannot found another town in this juncture, I don't think. Right? Yeah, his sanctuary's spent. He can't use buildings in this. I think it's safe to say he has no towns left in him. Engineers, I think, do have a town left in them, but we need 2 towns to knock this out, and Mermaids already finished their 3rd town, so actually we can maybe make this bet. This is kind of crazy. I think, yeah, I think that's how we want to play this. Let's just double check no one else has the capability of gaining power for that. So we'll need this to gain the priest to upgrade shipping. But, you know, here we go, and we're gonna cross this threshold and make this happen. Jeez, this feels so dicey, but I'm having trouble seeing how it can come back to bite me in the butt. You know, if I don't see it, go ahead. Hard to say if this makes me look like a genius or not. I'm going with not. I feel like this is not the hardest play to spot. To boost up my own power to make sure I can grab this. This is my next priority before Mermaids somehow acquire the power to mess with this action, because this play is an absolute disaster if I don't get this power action. Okay, Mermaid's just taken the available spot. Now they have to dig for any other spaces, and that's okay with us. Oh no, sorry, they still have this available tile as well. Okay, bridge by engineers. Here we go. Look at that. We have money. Now we need to finish the town here, or we're in trouble again. Fancy that. Okay, how much money is required to finish it? We need a trading post upgrade and a dwelling build. And then, you know, we get our nomad thingamajigger in here. And so that makes only 5 money to make this happen. 4 more for the shipping upgrade afterwards. And then coming across here, if we have redundant workers, we can hard dig this to build both of these. I think that's how that works. Maybe. We might not actually have... Ooh, we might not actually have the enough dwellings to do that. And indeed we won't. Okay. So we're going to be out of buildings with 4 left on the mat after we finish this. Well, how many workers are we expending in the process of doing this? Because only 9 of our coins are spoken for, so that actually could be another trading post upgrade into a dwelling construction here for free. We could do that. Do we have enough workers for all of it? So we only need 3 to finish the town. Oh my goodness, we have workers falling out of our ears. We have so many. Okay. Hey Deluxe, nice to see you. Welcome back to the chat. Is this the... See, I haven't actually made it to the Darklings yet. I started it, and I completed the Alchemist one, and it's been so good so far that I'm already plugging it on stream. Despite having not finished it. I think it's very worth people's reads. Go to YouTube, type in the search bar Zoras BG, and read his ultimate guide to whichever black race suits you better. Interesting, engineers taking the workers. And I guess they just want to build here, build here? Is that how that's panning out? I think so. They can upgrade to 3 shipping to get a build on this tile. So that's probably how that's happening. Very nice for us that Mermaids, Engineers already winding down on things to do. Engineers still have some game left. We have a lot to do left this turn. So yay us, we're awesome. Give me that. Yeah. So we'll go ahead and dig as our next action, our special faction landscape. And then we'll upgrade a trading post. And actually doing that, we already have a spare dwelling. So it's actually possible we have enough to build both of these here. And that would be very helpful for network, because again, we don't get this as part of the network. We need to remember we're like one down on what it looks like from what's left on our board. Engineers really cleaning their board out. Something fierce, though. This is, it's a doozy. You know, we're not going to be too far off of these other people that are beating us, but I don't think we have enough points left in this to make it work. I haven't counted it out yet, though. Alright. Do your thing, bonus card. Okay, we have a trading post. Not a trading camp. I always mix up the names on those. That is correct, Deluxe. I took a line where I expended all my priests early by being cognizant of the fact that I could not lose access to a priest town tile. So, yeah, like, it kind of looked dicey in the middle, except that actually I had it on lock. Like, it only feels dicey to me. No way I'm losing access to that priest, so that I can get my one shipping. We're gonna get a clean 12 points when we upgrade to this spot. The reason we're not upgrading here, we'll upgrade here, is just to make engineers pay a point if they want the power leech. They probably don't even at this stage. Yeah, I don't think so. I think engineers, they'll just be looking to, if they max shipping... Oh, no, engineers can dig the hard way to build here. Sure, and then they can build another dwelling? Is that right? Oh my goodness, the engineers are going to end with nothing but a sanctuary on the map, on their map. And they are entirely connected. So, engineers definitely crushing us in the network department. It is what it is. Okay, up we go there. Found a town. I will have my priest. Thank you very much. Now let's ship. That is correct, Hubertree. As I've pointed out, I need 2 shipping to connect to this dwelling only. I'm skipping that. 1 shipping is enough to link this over here and then across through here. So we'll just skip the 2nd shipping. If things had gone a bit differently, maybe not, but I think... Can we defeat mermaids on area anyway? Looks like probably no. No. So we're gonna take 3rd place on network 2. That's not a happy state of affairs. Especially because, you know, mermaids and engineers, they still have some passes left in them for even more points. It's a headache. It's actually starting to look like we may well be last in this. Which is really unfortunate. I'm sorry, chat, I wasn't powerful enough. Okay, what do we need now? Next, before we can really do anything else meaningful, we gotta get our shipping up. So, boom, we ship. Huzzah! So this here is enough for trading post plus dwelling. That's 3 workers and 5 coins. And then it keeps enough to execute a hard dig. But we don't actually need the hard dig. We can just save those extras for a point on final resource scoring. We managed to go and get last place in the cults and second to last in network. And then I think we're also going into the end game with the fewest points. This is actually kind of a disaster. Darklings, even if they don't connect, are just making so many points by waving their priests around. Is that Zoras' final move? I think it should be. So Zoras is just gonna pass and collect, I guess, 4 points from his Air 1 favor. Okay, what do for us? So building here, then terraforming this, just as good as terraforming here, then building this. So we may as well do this in case we're skipping the terraform anyhow. Yep. Okay. Okay, Zoras being cognizant that I still have the action to take this Fire 3 favor. Like, it's possible. If I want, I can upgrade a temple here. I could actually take, like, Earth 3 and defeat engineers on this cult, but I don't know that that's... Is that really buying me anything useful? Like, I can't win any cults. It's certainly not worth it to come up into a tie with Zoras here when if I just upgrade a trading post instead. It's, yeah, I mean, that's mildly point profitable. Yes, okay, so if I do that, I'll have 4 workers left in the tank. That's unfortunately not enough to dig and build a dwelling. I would have needed to absorb 4 more power to produce the extra coins. So that's kind of an unfortunate state of affairs. Is it in my best interest to defeat engineers on this cult? Where do the networks stand? I'm assuming we're defeating Zoras because he's not at all connected to this. Mermaids. 4 buildings on the map. Same as ours, but we're not connected to this, so that's unfortunate. You know, if we could convert 5 workers into a priest, we might actually just do that here, but we can't. Yeah, I don't think we have a meaningful way to take 1 extra tile anywhere. It would have to be sitting there for us already available to build. And unfortunately, this was taken away. So we can't... Can we do... Can we get more points? We go +2 to the engineers -2 if we do the temple line. Whereas it's +3 to the engineers having -0 if we don't. But I don't think we can defeat the engineers anyway because they just have this whopping 18 coming down. So let's do the thing that's a little better for our score against the general board. I think we're last place on either line, though. Yeah, we'll upgrade here where no one has any business accepting power. And then that may just be the end of our train. Really a shame that the sequencing made it so that even with early passing, it was literally impossible for us to get either of these point cards. That might have been enough to swing things. Okay. And again, nothing we can do here except pass and take our... Oh, actually? No, still nothing we can do. Okay. So we will end it at that. Alright, let's see, this is, no, yeah, okay, so, and yes, we are thoroughly defeated by everybody. That's a shame. Powerful opponents, though. It was nifty to catch a game with them on stream. It's maybe quite possible that the biggest mistake was the first decision of the game, allowing the Darklings to go at the point value they did. We maybe needed to cut in and bid the Darklings down even further and be less complacent in just grabbing Nomads where we did. Oh, sad noise. Very well played, Zoras. You've definitely forced some interesting opening lines to make sure we did not get cut off in the west. So it was kind of an exciting opening sequence, even if we didn't fare too well in the end. So unfortunately... Hey Zoras, nice to see you in chat. Yeah, definitely a good opener in your part. I think probably one of the more interesting branch points for me in that game, I said early on in the stream, was at the very beginning when I spent out my power to cut the 4 power for 2 workers action on turn 1. Partly so you couldn't have it, because you get a very strong opening available with it, and also partly because it ensures you can't cut me off by moving down the west there, taking the lake tile, followed by the plains, which would leave me completely boxed in with how the mermaids did their double dig the first turn. Yeah, I've been at this about 3 weeks streaming this game, streaming my ladder climb upwards. Still a pretty low rating, but we're working at it. We've been steadily moving up because we don't actually have very many games on the account yet. Like I said, GG, well played. I think I'm going to go ahead and cut the stream off at this point because I unfortunately have things to do this evening. But my stream schedule is listed down underneath if you just scroll down on the stream page. I'll be back midday on Saturday for anyone who cares to tune in then. It's been a pleasure, and night-night.